Yes. Now, then after these visions, He showed him just where the nations would be standing. He showed him how that there were so many years depended yet on the Jews. He said the Messiah shall come. He'll prophesy in the 70 of weeks, which is 3.5 years. In the midst of it, He'll be cut off, which is 7 years. 70 weeks is determined for thy people. 7 years of prophecy to the Jews. He said, "And Messiah the Prince shall come and prophesy in the midst of the 7 weeks, 7 days. Will He be cut off? In the abomination maketh desolation shall stand in His place. And they'll tread down the walls of Jerusalem, Gentiles, for a time and dividing of time." Now, when Messiah come, Jesus, He preached exactly 3.5 years and was cut off for a sacrifice. The daily obligation was taken away. And the abomination that maketh desolation, the Moslem of Omar, was stood today in the place of the Holy Temple.
Amen.
The Mosque of Omar stands exactly where the temple stood. And he said if they would tread down the walls of Jerusalem, over Jerusalem, until the Gentile dispensation be finished. But at the end of the Gentiles, there would still be 3.5 years yet to the Jews.
Amen.
Until God reveals it to them.
Amen.
Brother Branham, in Daniel, the 11th chapter, the 31st verse, teaches of the taking away of the daily sacrifice and the abomination that maketh desolation. Would you please explain what these are? Oh, this person has signed their name to this one. That is my subject on next Sunday. And that comes in with the 70 weeks of Daniel. But and I might just say this to you, my most precious brother that signed this here, which is a very dear friend to all of us. Yes, the abomination that maketh desolation, Jesus in Matthew 24 spoke of it. The abomination means filthiness. That maketh desolation. Abomination was the Mosque of Omar that was built on the temple grounds where the holy place stood. In AD 96, Titus came in and captured Jerusalem and burnt the temple, and they built the Mosque of Omar, the Mohammedan religion, right on the temple grounds and still stands there to this day. And it will stand there until God returns to the Jews again. And the abomination, that is the Mosque of Omar, that maketh desolation of the holy place, standing in the holy place, see, Jesus referred to it, says, and in parentheses, let he that readeth understand. See? Therefore, He gives so many days from that time until after the prince, and so many days and so forth, which we'll get into next Sunday. And I'll try to, to the best of my knowledge, to get that in for you for next Sunday. But that abomination is a Mosque of Omar that took the place of the temple. When you see the abomination that maketh desolation, spoken of the prophet Daniel, standing in the holy place. See? Standing where the temple stood, the holy place, the Mosque of Omar. Brother, times said, Jesus even speaking of your underline said, when you see the abomination that maketh desolation spoken by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, what is that? The Mosque of Omar stood in the place of the temple when they burned it down, said, let them that's in the mountains, let them that's on the housetop, don't come down to take things out of the house, or him that's in the field, return back, for there will be a time of trouble, you see, and all these things would take place. Moved them on down now and vindicated back to this opening of the 6th seal. Now, I want you to notice,